spawning top right side of Roaring Currents. It's our Russian Protoss favorite. It is Dewalt.
We've got on the bottom left side of the map, blue Zerg, Eon.
I'm very happy we got to see Dewalt at least once so far today. So, you know, I feel like my commentary days are never complete if I don't get to witness, you know, maybe the greatest foreign Protoss of all time here. Dewalt has been such a problem in this foreign scene for so many competitors and for so many years here. You know, obviously the recent BSL victor, big favorite, I would say. You know, in this matchup here, but still, eOnzErG. I was talking about eOnzErG earlier. I really love eOnzErG's Zerg vs Protoss specifically. So I'm really excited to see what he has planned here for Dewalt.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Dewalt, we need to remember, Dewalt is playing a huge amount of games, streaming daily, playing in different tournaments, like trolling different people on Fastnix also, right? But still, he has an amazing playstyle, and we see a 12 Nexus from him against a 12 hatch. So I would say that this is the best possible outcome, unless Eon will go for a third hatchery before spawning pool.
How do you go Nexus first versus eOnzErG? That's really what I want to know.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. Maybe it's due to this map, because this map, you know, you have a long distance between the two locations, right? So
I guess you're right. I would have said the same thing about Litmus, but even versus Terran, he went 9 pool versus XuanXuan. So, man, Dewalt really made a big read here. He clearly did some studying. But
you know, this kind of 12 Nexus followed by Forge basically defends you before against everything, with the exception of 9 pool. And 9 pool isn't common against Protoss players, because it's a disadvantage. If Protoss player would defend, it's a disadvantage, a huge economical disadvantage for the Zerg player.
You know, one thing I've been talking about in previous casts lately is how often Sziky opens 9 pool versus Protoss. He really seems to favor 9 pool. I think he is an exception, but Sziky really, really likes 9 pool versus Protoss, and he does a very good job with it. He macros his way out of it, even in scenarios where he shouldn't very well. But he is uncommon. Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of Sziky, when I'm looking at his stream, he's quite often able to run by, and you know, even 2 links in your main basically sets off your whole build by decades, and then you can do something, right? You can macro out of it, Hydra bus, whatever, right? But in this game, on this specific map, the distance is long, and then you must attack uphill. So Hydra boss are not rather a thing. Usually it's this kind of playstyle that Aeon is showing. It's more economical.
It's so funny that you say, you know, Hydra timings aren't good here, because I remember when I first saw this map, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, oh, look at the rush distance. It's a high ground natural. Nobody's ever going to go 973 here. And I remember one of the first games I commentated was a Zerg opening 973 on this map and killing like a single cannon with 10 Hydras and ending the game. I just laughed really hard at it. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, that's a fair point, right? Because still, it can work. If you have one cannon, you know, it can work.
Yeah, and I mean, like, to your point, what Protoss in their right mind wouldn't think the exact same thing, right? Like, if you knew a 973 was coming on this map, you would almost thank them. You'd say, oh, okay, so you're going to attack into my high ground cannons from so far away? Like, thank you for the win. You know, you're my best friend. Like, but it's, you know, so sometimes if you can really hide it even on a map like this or a map like Knockout, you know, 973 is still a viable option.
It's powerful, and we see that Eon took a play out of, I think, Queen's playbook. Soma playbook, rather, Soma.
Yes.
So cross-stacking, so both Hydras and still at the same time going for Spire. But interestingly, Dewalt is also going very, very, very standard. So he is not going for this kind of Corsair Reaver style that we saw from Bonyth and from a lot of other players on this map in BVZ. But instead of that, he's going for Sayer into DT, and then probably explosion of gateways and standard normal game as on any other map.
Yeah, I want to say I misspoke. By the way, I was thinking this was Muta, not 4-hatch Muta, not any Hydra, which is what Soma does. But you're right, Queen does this build. Yes, Hydra into
cross stacking.
You're right. You're right.
But
DT walks out and kills the first Zerglings here from Eon.
Yeah, a bunch of Zerglings. Yeah, I like the awareness of Dewalt because he didn't lose anything to Discourage on one hand. On the second hand, and Eon did a really great job. He didn't lose a single Overlord.
Yeah, did not lose a single over, which is very key. I gotta say, this DT is primed to do some significant damage here, though. eOnzErG is just not ready for the pathing. Yep. And we see eOnzErG does see it. At least he has Overlords in position to scout this DT. Oh, it's sitting between the natural and the main here. Dewalt is so good. Wow.
Corsairs are coming. Corsairs are coming.
Yeah, Corsair's coming.
Oh my god.
If they pick this Overlord off, this is free reign to the natural here for this DT. Ooh, Corsairs fall, though. This is a big committal from Dewalt. Oh, wow. Okay. We got a few drones. We caused a lot of lost mining time. And to be fair, it cost Dewalt at least 3 Corsairs. So that is significant.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess because eOnzErG is supply blocked and we're seeing Dewalt up a good, 20, 30 supply, that it did work out for him. But it was a big committal.
Now let's see. Oh, okay.
Ooh. Big counter, Muta timing here.
Ooh, good storm. Really good storm.
That is so many Scourge. How did eOnzErG get so many Scourge? That's crazy.
Zerg, GPU needs.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, that was way too many Scourge for Dewalt to handle there.
Really good storm. Basically killed everything. I think a single Mutalisk was left from the whole bunch.
Yeah, you're right. Only a single Muta, and that really eliminates that air, count here for eOnzErG. He's going to need to remake Mutas if he wants to continue to go that route. Still, though, eOnzErG, it's not like he was all in with that. There is a 4th base now completed for eOnzErG. He's got a sizable Hydralisk force as well. Drone count looks very healthy. Only down 10 workers on 4 base, which is very good, I would say, for Zerg in this position. But here we go. It looks like Dewalt wants to do his own move out. Now, keep in mind, this is Roaring Currents. There's, such a distance cross map in order to get any kind of attack done, which is why we don't really see a lot of early aggression on this map here. eOnzErG has so much time to recognize this and prepare by making his own Sunkens or producing additional Hydralisks. Ooh, another whiff of a storm there. Corsair goes down. Oh, this is 8-gate. Oh, this is 8-gate timing. Dewalt's very committed with this. That was a lot of storms. I don't think Dewalt has many storms left for the Hydra.
Yeah, he doesn't. The only thing he can do, if he knows, is deny the 4th expansion, and he knows he's going uphill. Yeah, that won't cost him any storms.
Right. Yeah, I like this. He's gonna need to know to back up though. But here we go. 2 more Templar. Wow, very nice surround here from eOnzErG though. Picks off those remaining Dragoons and all of the Templar. But not before 2 DTs. Wow.
That's something you don't see every day, right? Because usually, okay, you've got DTs at the beginning and somewhere in the mid game, early, late game, but not at this point in the game. I don't know how Dewalt recognized it, that Eon won't have speed to the Overlords, but look at it. Dewalt was Eon was able to deny the attack, to defend the attack. He's got like a group of Hydras, but now the reinforcements of the Protoss player, Dewalt, will be able to defend his additional expansion, and this will put him on the same number of expansions as the Zerg player.
Yeah, I want to say that it feels like the game is slowly shifting into Dewalt's favor here, especially once that 3rd base comes online. eOnzErG though did do a great job of saving the drones from the 4th base, so he can recover. I feel like at this point, if you're Zerg, you really need to start getting that lurker tech online. Maybe just focus on holding this major ramp on Roaring Currents, so no more, ground forces are able to really push across. And that's one way you can kind of get yourself back into the game here.
Yeah, on one hand you're right, but we need to remember that on this map, the 3rd and 4th expansion has a lower mineral count. Right, so it finishes quite fast. So defending the ramp will be a problematic thing, right? Okay, you can defend it, but what then?
Yeah, true, because you're going to need a 5th base eventually. Here we go. Dewalt with another massive timing. Mutas are just in time to deny the Templar, though. Great storms, though, from Dewalt. But that is all of his Templar. So now it's Zealot, Dragoon, again, fighting versus pure Hydra, which usually goes in favor of the Hydras. And yeah, we see that. Dewalt actively knows it. He's backing up. But yeah, I feel like Dewalt is really pulling this game into his favor. More Corsairs coming out here from Dewalt. I think again he's expecting more and more Hydra switches. eOnzErG staying very active with a small group of Hydralists, just harassing the incoming force here from Dewalt. Dewalt, though, is very happy to just kind of sit back on his side of the map here, make his own 4th Nexus, and go forward from there. Here we go. Huge storm to kick things off from Dewalt. And this is so many Zealots for Dewalt here with 1/1 upgrades. +2 range attack has not kicked in yet for the Zerg, so these are all going to be great trades for Dewalt. Still, though, that is a lot of Hydralists coming in from the east side.
Nice storms.
Ooh,
covering
nice
a lot of the Hydras.
And again, this 4th base of eOnzErG will be crushed. It's just so tough to fight with pure Hydra versus this, especially when Storm's involved. Yeah, we're seeing Dewalt really feeling comfortable here. I think he's recognized that eOnzErG is spread a little too thin, does not have the Hydra count needed to hold. Lurkers were morphed, but too far forward to be protected. And yeah, it looks like Dewalt's just going to continue to move in here and engage the 3rd base of eOnzErG.
Yeah, Dewalt felt blood in the water and he's pulling the trigger.
Yeah. All right. And that was the game. So well done there from Dewalt. No surprise, even on Roaring Currents, a map that I would say is Zerg favored. It's kind of shown to be Zerg favored. Would you
I
say?
think
What do you think, Mazur?
I think that because it's a little bit more complicated because Protoss players see the island aspect of the map, decide to go for this kind of Corsair Reaver style into carrier and things like that, and Zergs anticipated in the same time that, and then it's favored for Zerg. But if they play standard, look at the map. They split
Hmm.
the ground part of the map into half. And who has advantage in a split map position? Protoss player.
Yes.
If you take out the islands from the map, it's a Protoss favorite map. But if you try to play like that, then Zerg players anticipate it and adjust to it. And I remember seeing at least a couple of games of Larva on that map where
Oh
he
yeah. Who
totally
could forget?
crashed. Yeah, totally crushed the Protoss players, right? So a lot depends on the style because it's and I would say if the Protoss will go for the Corsair Reaver style, then it's a little bit more favored for the Zerg. But in a standard game, wouldn't say so. I would say that's a little bit more for Protoss favorite.
I see. I mean, it seemed like you were correct there with the previous game, for sure. eOnzErG really wasn't able to find a footing without any of the additional island bases. You know, continually lost the fourth base to Dewalt's 8-gate timing, and yeah, it seems like it was very difficult for Eon to kind of hold the base there. So we'll have to see how eOnzErG adjusts. You know, this will be a different map though. Polestar, a little more quote unquote standard style map for a Zerg versus Protoss here. Still though, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love eOnzErG's Zerg versus Protoss specifically. So if anyone can make a comeback versus Dewalt here, eOnzErG is absolutely capable of it. But yeah, with that, it looks like both of our players are ready to go, folks. Map 2 going to be Polestar, so let's go ahead and check out Dewalt versus eOnzErG Game 2. Alrighty, spawning top right side as the red Protoss currently up 1-0. It is Dewalt.
And we've got our Zerg player, Eon, spawning on the bottom left side of the map, so cross map positions. Blue Zerg looking forward how he will try to take back a game from Dewalt.
Yeah, after that game 1 and what we've seen from eOnzErG, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 9 pool here. That being said, the second I said it, that Overlord was made. You know, so commentary curse there. But, you know, the Nexus first, I'm sure, threw eOnzErG off a little bit. If only it had gone, you know, for something like a 9 pool there, it could have been a pretty quick, easy win. That being said, though, still no pool. It looks like it's going to be a hatch first again here out of eOnzErG.
Against
I like
12
it.
Nexus. Again.
Is it? Oh my gosh, it is. No way.
Oh, no. Second probe. No, he
Forge?
will delayed Forge and second probe scout.
Okay,
But if you will find him now, then he can cancel it. Oh, he hit the hatchery. Nice.
I like this a lot. This is a very high level
Really
move
nice.
from Zergs.
Very.
It's definitely a move that Zergs are getting is becoming a little more standard here because no Protoss is going to try to scout the third. Yeah.
And you saw how he was baiting with the drone, the probe, to follow it. So that because Eon already took the hatchery, right? And he faked that he's going with drone to take his natural, so that Dewalt won't go deeper into Eon's main to check the potential pool timing. Yeah. So really nice.
Yeah, it's very smart. Very, very nice. as you said, Mazur. I mean, it's a really high-level move. Not a lot of Zergs like to, why would you take your third base, which is further away, when you could just take your own natural, right? Your natural is always going to be more beneficial, but there's a lot of cost-benefit to just taking a hidden natural at a third base. It's less likely to be cannon rushed. Your opponent doesn't know what you're opening for longer as Zerg. It's one of those funny things, but there's big advantage to doing so.
Okay, so let's see. We got an early standard gas.
Yeah, very standard gas here.
Cute. That was cute.
He got it.
Yeah, he got one, right? It's not
True,
knockout
yeah.
when the minerals are 0, right? I like doing it versus Zerg on knockout because then there's no possibility to deny scouting with the probe. Two links on the cliff won't work anymore. Unfortunately, on this map, there are minerals there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's 16, but makes I can't say I've seen really like a crazy rush on this map where someone tried to take advantage of that. Maybe like a 2-gate in the main opener versus Zerg could be interesting. I don't know. Either way, it looks like very standard from both players here. Dewalt still out on the map with that early probe, just kind of scouting around. eOnzErG only making the standard 4 Zerglings to kick things off. Ooh, picks the probe off. The timing of that was fairly big. I don't believe really Dewalt got a great chance to see how many Zerglings eOnzErG has produced. This is Zergling speed. Zero's pointing out here, and actually I see at least another 4 Zerglings out towards the third base, so I'm not sure if this is more for aggression from eOnzErG or if he just wants to defend any potential zealot timings that could arise. And my guess is it's to defend zealots.
Yeah, I would agree because there's no option to deal any damage unless Dewalt would move out and Eon would decide to go for a counter, right? And I think Soma even recently destroyed snow like that, so that's still a viable option, but it's rather not that common to observe in pro games, in high-level games. But we see an additional gas from Eon, so this might be an indicator that Eon is thinking about mutas.
I like it. It really, after this last season of ASL, 4-hatch muta, which was a thing, went away, is becoming more common again. And you'll notice that Soma utilized 4-hatch muta quite a bit. It's a very quick timing. It's really like basically you get your 4 hatcheries, spires up, you make about 6-7 muta, and then just spam Scourge and hope you overwhelm your opponent who doesn't have enough cannons in either the main or the natural, and you can just end a game very quickly. But it's not common.
Yeah, but that's interesting. It's this is the definition of meta, right? Why it stopped being a thing? Because Protoss players put 2 cannons instead of 1 in the main. Oh, 2.
What?
To the main. So this might be mutas if he will kill. Well, probably now he might wait for. Oh my god! Now he might wait for the mutas to kick in. So he has Zerglings in the main, but mutas are nowhere to be seen. So probably not gonna happen. But
maybe if you just targeted that cannon in the main right away, it would have been pretty big. But again, I don't even. This isn't really 4-hatch muta. If eOnzErG was already running across the map with his muta, this could deal some significant damage. What this did do was disrupt Dewalt's own move-out timing. The only reason why this even happened was Dewalt was moving out with his own zealots to try to hit his own timing, and now that was completely stalled and delayed. So eOnzErG, you know, despite losing every Zergling, not really killing anything, it still served a purpose.
Yeah, but our question, if there's what's the storm timing, right? Because we can see 5-hatch Hydra with speed. The storm just started, so there might be a window of opportunity for eOnzErG.
I see. For like a Hydra timing,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like. I think you're right, but it doesn't look like that's what eOnzErG's posturing for. He's keeping very far back with his Hydras for some reason. So maybe it's just because they're cross map. Ooh. Connect.
Nice.
Okay.
At least one. Nice.
Yeah,
hidden expansion. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's not something Dewalt does very often.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, but we were talking about that 4-hatch, right? And I was talking about meta. Why that didn't work? Because when Zerg players decided to go for Muta, Protoss players made 2 cannons in the main, and that killed the whole idea. But nowadays, there is 1 cannon at a maximum. Oh, okay. Look. There is that timing. There's no Storm yet. Or is it? Oh my god.
Ooh.
It had to just finish.
Still, great dodge, though, from eOnzErG.
Yeah.
He only lost 2 Hydras somehow. That's pretty big. Wow. Very well done. He's just trying to bait storms out here, I think. Obviously, if he kills the Forge, that's a big deal. Yeah, even Dewalt canceling the... Oh, no, he got +1, I guess. I guess he was canceling +1 armor. Yeah. But still, not bad. That is a big move here from eOnzErG. But this is where the hidden expansion from Dewalt is going to come into... is going to be very key. eOnzErG thinks he's contained Dewalt to 2 bases. He's teching. He's getting his 3rd gas. Meanwhile, Dewalt's getting his own 3rd base for nothing and not even having to defend it.
You can't imagine how many games I lost because of this kind of play. And it's a very uncommon and a very good strategy because you are not able to identify it because at this stage of the game, it's not normal.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. I mean, it really pays off to be thinking 1 step ahead in StarCraft, and this is just another example of that. Just by having a probe at that high ground base, he's prepared himself for a scenario like this, but somehow eOnzErG has sniffed it out. Ooh, he might be able to pull the trigger here. Nope. Dewalt's going to push him off.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think Dewalt will send...
Gotta be upset.
Yeah. I would like to see Eon's camera at this point.
Yeah.
But still,
Well,
you know, it's uphill. This expansion is uphill. So, couple Zealots and a High Templar is defending majority of the things that Zerg can throw at him.
If you're Protoss in this position, is it better to go for a timing or just take your own 4th in between the 3rd base and the natural?
I would go for a gateway explosion, just kill the Zerg. If he will be able to defend, then I'm taking an additional expansion because with the coursers that are running around the map, I know that he doesn't have an additional expansion. But the lurkers, really nice. He can contain
really
the
good
main.
Positioning.
Yeah, he can now. He can contain the main and try to kill the expansion, and that would make Dewalt be behind for sure.
If anything, eOnzErG almost over defending with lurkers at his own 3rd base. He needs to just push everything forward, like you said, isolate that 3rd base on the high ground, and then just go kill it. Are there even Templars at the 3 o'clock base of Dewalt? I don't think so.
Only Zealots.
Oh, of course he's got one. He's so good. I don't even know how he got that
Where?
guy
Oh
over
yeah!
there.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he
I'm
has it,
looking
man.
at
He's ready.
I'm looking at the screen and I'm not seeing it. So I can imagine that Eon won't see it also.
That's Dewalt tactics. He hides it in plain sight, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Nice
nice
layup
observer
from Dobbs.
pick off. Yeah, very nice from eOnzErG. Man, eOnzErG just plays so well. I mean, he's really keeping up with Dewalt this game. Only down, 30 supply, very standard. Working his way to Hive Tech. The lurker count is great. He really has an excellent contain here versus Dewalt. But here we go. Dewalt has decided this is the time to push out.
I like how Dewalt is keeping the Zealots behind, right? Okay, only Goons, High Templars. Let's deal as much damage as we can. But the Zealots would be a waste if he would use the Zealots. Zealots will be useful after the contain will be broken.
Yeah, those lurker spines just end up soaking so much damage into Zealots. You really need to try to clear the lurkers as Protoss first before moving out. Yeah. Wow, so many more lurkers being morphed. I feel like eOnzErG maybe should just rally everything outside this natural, and maybe he's got a shot. Wow, the biggest storm maybe of all time in StarCraft history goes down on that group of Hydralisks. Oh, that's so painful. Oh boy.
Nice.
There we go. Lurkers moving in here. Another nice contain from eOnzErG, and again, that's just so many lurkers. But Dewalt has managed to move the majority of his force around the contain.
What a strange situation, right? You're contained, but you manage to move your army through the contain. In the same time, you're taking an expansion between the contain and your main.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Oh, here we go, though. Dewalt feels like he's caught out a good amount of this force, but like you said, those Zealots, they really got to be careful moving into so many lurkers. They will just evaporate. And yeah, I think Dewalt has underestimated how many lurkers are still remaining outside his main here.
Oh, perfect snipes. Perfect snipes on the observers. Only two left.
Yeah, 2 left, but
in
not
the same
before.
time.
Yeah.
In the same time, Eon managed to deny the expansion of Dewalt. So really good. He defended. Okay, the Dewalt broken out of the contain, but he lost his expansion. In the same time, Eon is taking top left main. So Eon is in a pretty decent position, I would say.
He really is. I mean, taking that top left main, like you said, the biggest deal is denying the 4th base of Dewalt. Now Dewalt's found himself in a position where he really can't afford to attack until he gets a 4th base up. eOnzErG, though, continues to stream more and more units across the map here versus Dewalt.
Some of those storms you mentioned earlier, one of the best storms was placed here, but in this engagement, the storms weren't that good. Some of them are almost on their Dewalt's own units. So doesn't look that good. That game didn't look that good, but Dewalt still managed to break out to kill the contain. But as Zero is pointing out, Dewalt will be mined out in a moment in his main and first expansion. He needs the second expansion, or rather the 4th expansion that is next between his current expansion and his main, because otherwise he will be only on one base mining, and that's not sustainable.
And eOnzErG knows this. You see him just streaming units past the army of Dewalt with hopes of trying to deny that 4th base. Because if he can continue denying that 4th, Dewalt can no longer continue.
Dewalt is trying to find an opening in Eon's defense, but this attack isn't going that good, and in the same time Eon is defending in his second expansion, so doesn't look that good. Though
Oh no, the Nidus blocked Eon's
Oh
wall
my
off
god.
at his natural. He can't get units out
Oh
of his
my
main.
god.
So the Nidus at least does come into play here. He's able to get some lurkers through, you know, at a much needed time to defend his natural. But still, though, this force from the main and natural of eOnzErG not able to assist the rest of his bases. And here comes more and more units from Dewalt. There's a sizable Protoss army now outside the third, the fourth base of eOnzErG. And it looks like he's going to commit to 9 o'clock here. Will eOnzErG be able to hold?
This doesn't look good for eOnzErG. Depending on the amount of army that will be coming from the back. But me, as a Protoss player, I love this kind of engagements because usually Zerg players, when they are sending the army, it goes in a straight line, just asking for a storm.
Yeah, that's you've seen a few of my replays, it seems, because I definitely just move things straight to the nearest storm. Oh man. Well, suddenly Dewalt finds himself up a base. He's up about 100 supply, which is a very good position for Protoss to be in. And eOnzErG really scrambling for his reinforcements from all bases to try and hold his natural third.
Looks like a GG.
Okay, this was good. It was it was a good flank there from eOnzErG, but yeah, he's losing the hatcheries, losing the
20
drones.
silos still. And Dark Templars.
Oh,
my god.
No. DT's top left. That's a big game changer for sure.
That doesn't look good. Dewalt's greed worked perfectly. The hidden expansion just gave him the edge he needed.
Yeah, that was a great hidden expansion again from Dewalt mid right there. Really, I mean, it was a big game changer. Before that, eOnzErG was looking so strong at the start of this game. Had a very nice contain versus Dewalt. How, you know, we don't get to see Dewalt contain very often.
True.
Yeah, looks like there is at least defilers on the map now for eOnzErG.
Yeah. Okay. But I wanted to say, but there is one expansion for Zerg, whereas Dewalt was taking his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. So didn't work. But still, nice game.
Yeah, very nice game, very nice series.
I think with this game we've finished today's cast, right? We have all the scores, all the games haven't played.
Yep, that was the final match of the day here for just today for BSL Group Stage. We get to see how things kind of ended out here with again a lot of the top Chinese players, you know, doing very well. I gotta say, at the end of the day, QiaoGege dropped you know, quite a few rankings. Bonyth, Sziky, and Dewalt moved up quite a bit there. But still, Mihu, XuanXuan, the two Chinese Terrans, proving to be really the biggest problem for this group here so far in BSL Non-Korean Championship, with some excellent games there. I mean, especially the XuanXuan QiaoGege series.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really funny one to watch. I gotta say, I truly enjoyed that one.
In the same time, Bonyth games were also amazing. Man, that River thing, right? When he lost like 70% of his economy and still won. And in the second game, carriers, seriously, fast carriers and win a game.
Oh yeah, fast carriers. Definitely. You also got to call it the Bonyth DuGu series. DuGu taking a quick lead, showing he obviously has some very strong Zerg vs Protoss chops, but then Bonyth coming back and showing, you know, why he is Bonyth. You know, and it ends up tying up that series. So that was a lot of fun to watch too. But Mihu again back into the mix here. Such a strong Terran to get to witness. But yeah, again, hats
All the
off to
games.
all these players. Yep.
Yeah.
For making it this
Amazing.
far. Yep.
Okay.
Well, before we call it today, I definitely wanted to give a big shout out to our Patreon and our supporters here. I always call out, the big donations. We saw some of them today, but CRVT with the $2,000 donation, always a big supporter of the BSL season over season. Thank you so much. Jaziri, as well. Striker, not only a great competitor, but also a big supporter of the BSL. Tangard, Anonymous, Dragon, Chaosu, LML, all big supporters. And at the Wolf of Wall Street level here, $200 a month, we have Andrew. Thank you so much for your contributions. At the general level, $100 a month, we have My Fleeting Dream. Thank you so much. At the Colonel level, $50 a month, we have Striker again. Such a cool North American Zerg, and just a big supporter of the BSL overall. Thank you so much. At the major plus level, we have Mikalai Paroshin. Thank you so much for your $30 a month donation. And at the $20 a month level, we have Chaosu, KJ, LML, Medinho, Nicholas Schuler, Scheming Gypsy, Stephen Robertson, and Tom. So quite a few new names this week, gotta say. And then also just to each and every single supporter, every donator, month over month, just know that your money, goes towards supporting each and every season of BSL and allowing Mazur and I to continue doing what we love to do, sit here and hang out and watch some of the best StarCraft Broodwar that we possibly could. So thank you all so much for your donations.
Yeah. On top of that, just want to say thanks for giving me the zero, for giving me the chance to cast with Machine today. And I wanted to just remind you guys, tomorrow is yet another day of BSL.
Yeah, thank you, Mazur. I really appreciate you stepping in here and helping me out today, man. I gotta say, it was fun, man. You're a pretty cool cat to commentate with, dude. I appreciate your knowledge, and thank you so much for being here today, man. So thanks again. I hope we get to do it again here soon. Also want to give obviously a big shout out to Zero, the man behind the scene, the man behind the cameras, making it all happen week over week, dedicating every single day, it feels like, to making Foreign Broodwar as awesome as it currently is. So thank you again. And thank you all for tuning in. We obviously wouldn't be here if nobody was watching. So appreciate you all for checking out our casts and yeah, seeing even in 2026, some of the best StarCraft you could ever ask for. So again, another fun week, another amazing day of BSL Non-Korean Championship. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope you tune in tomorrow for some more BSL action. That's it for me today. I'm Machine, and again, Mazur, thanks again for being here with me, buddy. Hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Take care, guys.